Welcome back to the Algebra 1 video series. Today we're going to talk about or concentrate on adding without using a calculator. For the whole first part of Algebra 1, we do like to make sure that you are comfortable with not using a calculator again, and that those skills that you've honed over the years are still there somewhere. So we're going to bring them back out today. One way that we can talk about adding, because we're going to be concentrating in algebra a lot with signed numbers, positives and negatives in the same problem. So what some people tend to use if they need a little bit of extra help is the number line. If we're going to add on the number line, I'm just going to show you a quick way here with example 1. -3 is our starting point, so I'm going to go on my number line here and put a dot at the -3. Because we are adding a -4 to it, that means I want to go 4 spaces in the negative direction, which would be to the left. So from that -3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces and find our answer of -7. Hopefully that wasn't too challenging for you. Let's try another one just to be certain that it makes sense to you. And I'm going to jump down to example 3 just to show you that you can even do a more difficult problem using the number line. My first value is a +5, so that's my starting point on the number line. And I'm going to add a -8, so I'm going to go 8 times towards the negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're at -3. My next value, add -2. I'm going to go 2 more to the negatives. And now we've got to go +7. So now I've got to go from my last point, -5, 7 times in the positive direction, which leaves me at the value +2, which gives me an answer of +2. Okay, so this is just one method that you can use. It is an option, okay? But when we're using problems or doing problems involving integers, there's definitely a disadvantage to adding using a number line. Maybe you can think, what are some numbers that might not be so easy to use on the number line? Fractions and decimals. You've got it. All right, that's definitely a reason why we'd want to talk about methods other than using the number line. So you want to copy this down into your notes. This is part of the rules for adding numbers with signs. If we're adding numbers with the same sign, this is the easiest option of the 2 different ones you'll be presented with. The first step is add the digits together, ignore the signs, just focus on the numbers. Once you've found the answer by combining those 2 numbers, you're going to make sure your answer has the exact same sign as what the problems did or what the numbers in the problems did. So pause this slide if you need to get those copied down, and then we're going to move on to a couple of examples. So here are some examples. Notice in the first one, or actually number 4 I have here, -13 plus a -26, both negative signs. So I'm going to ignore those signs, and I'm going to focus just on the 13 and the 26. Doing this without a calculator, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to add my 3 and 6 to get 9. I'm going to add my 1 and 2 to get a 3. Now, step 2 told me that my answer has to have the same sign as the numbers in the problem. Both numbers in the problem are negative, so I need to make this 39 into a -39 for my final answer. Not too terrible there. Number 5 I think is easy for you, both positive, that's what you're used to. All right. Number 6, same idea as the first one. So I'm going to go to the more difficult one. Again, the last one here. I'm going to ignore the signs because they're both negative. And I'm just going to combine the numbers. So 4 plus 8 gives me 12. Carry the 1. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 6 plus 2 plus 1 is 9. 5 plus 1 is 6. And for my final answer, the problem included negative numbers, so my answer has to be a negative number. Okay, so what if you have problems with different signs, positive and negative, mixed in the same problem? 2 steps to dealing with those. The first is you're going to subtract the digits this time. Although it's an addition problem, we're not going to add the numbers. We're going to subtract the numbers, the smallest away from the largest. And then the second step, there's where it's a little different. We're going to focus on, in the problem, what the largest number was. We want to make our answer match that sign. So you want to keep the sign of the larger digit for your answer. And we're going to do a couple problems or examples at this point. So if you need to pause to copy this down, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the examples. First one, -8 plus a +12. We've got opposite signs here, so I'm going to disregard the signs, but I know I need to take away the 8 from the 12. So subtracting the smallest from the largest, not too terrible there, gives me a 4. But now I need to check, is my answer going to be a +4 or a -4? In the problem, 12 is the largest number, and it is a +12. That's what determines that my answer needs to be a +4. Example 9, I have a +14 and a -72. 72 is the larger number. I'm going to take away the smaller number. And again, we're not using calculators here, so I'm going to have to borrow in this case because 4 can't come out of 2, but 4 can come out of 12 to give me 8. 6 minus 1 gives me a 5. And now we're left to decide, is it a +58 or is it a -58? And hopefully you're already yelling at your computer saying 72 is negative, so my 58 is also negative. Okay, number 10, we've got a mixture and we've got more than 2. So you've got options here. All right, what I personally like to do is I will put my negatives together first. That way they're the same sign, and I know that's a -44. 18 and 2, also the same sign, so I put them together to get a +20. Now we've got one of each, so I'm going to subtract my larger minus the smaller, which gives me 24. And because 44 was a negative number and is the larger of the two, my answer has to become a -24 for the entire problem. So this has been a quick little review of adding integers. You should be well on your way to be starting the homework assignment. If you have questions, again, as always, come see your teacher as soon as you can so we can get you back on track. Good luck. Have a great day.